Thank you so much, Congressman
Sure.
Blackburn, for speaking to VOA China branch. Congressman Blackburn, the presidential election is heating up, and you are a strong supporter of Mr. Trump. Why do you think he will be a great president?
There are three issues that we primarily hear about in the campaign. First is national security, second is jobs and the economy, and third is the basket of family issues, including retirement security. And he has brought forward plans with each of those. That is important to note, and it is important that to notice also that when it comes to national security, people feel as if he will do a better job of supporting the military, supporting our veterans, being certain that we have what we need to keep our nation safe. Jobs in the economy, tax reform issues, working with our national debt. He is, Mrs. Clinton isn't even close to him in the polling when it comes to considering and working on those issues. He just rolled out a child care plan. I had the opportunity to be with him in Pennsylvania as he rolled that out. If you go to Mrs. Clinton's website, she has nothing on child care. And he has proposed doing the dependent care savings accounts that can be used either for child care or for elder care. Very important step to have those dependent care accounts.
So you represent the 7th District in Tennessee. What are some of the most important issues for your voters in this election year?
In my district, we have a very interesting mix of an industrial base. Auto manufacturing is very prevalent there, the entertainment industry. With music and entertainment, we have a major military post in Fort Campbell. Agriculture and ag exports, soybeans, are there in my district. So, see, you get a little bit of everything, not to mention healthcare. And some of the largest providers and managers of hospitals are located in my district. When people in my district look at it, first of all, they want to make certain the military is well taken care of. Veterans are taken care of, that we are prepared to fight the wars currently and in the future, and that we're doing a good job of that. The economic stability of the nation is important because we have products that are manufactured, we have products that are exported, we have some components that are imported, you have auto manufacturing. We also hear from our entertainment industry intellectual property protections and the importance of having those with trade. Currency manipulation is an important issue. So those are things. My constituents do a great job of looking at all of these issues, and our conversations are terrific when I'm out in my district. And they talk about policies and proposals that are up for debate in Congress, as well as policies and proposals that are being debated in light of the presidential election.
You are also an opponent of the Obamacare. Why do you think this is not in the interest of the American people?
First of all, it's too expensive to afford. And my state, Tennessee, was the test case state for Hillary Clinton's health care plan, a plan that was called TennCare, and it quadrupled in cost after 5 years. By the time it had been on the books for 10 years, a governor had to basically go in and take the program down and remove 300,000 people from the program because it had become 35.3% of the state budget, one program. So we know that it is too expensive to afford. We've seen it play out. Second thing, people get the Obamacare insurance. It's too expensive to use because their deductibles will be $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 for a family of 4 or 5. So it basically is only there if something catastrophic happens. So it really is too expensive to use. The program is imploding on its own weight because insurance companies are saying now it is too expensive to offer the product. So people are leaving that marketplace and the program is imploding. We need to be able to say, and this administration needs to be diligent enough to say, we made a mistake and the program doesn't work, and we'll support Congress in taking it down and replacing it with something workable.
You mentioned about the issues such as intellectual property rights and currency manipulation. These issues have a lot to do with China. How do you evaluate President Obama's policy toward China during the past 7 years?
I think that there are times when it comes to trade, I would like for him to have been more forthcoming in trying to work out intellectual property protections. I think that for China, it would serve them well to have the copyright courts and the intellectual property courts to stand strong for intellectual property protections, because you are developing in China some not only entertainment product, but also some indigenous products where you want that trademark to mean something. And if you're going to do that in a global marketplace, you've got to offer that same intellectual property protection to people that want to manufacture or do business with you.
What are some of the major challenges you think in the U.S.-China relations right now?
I think probably intellectual property and currency manipulation are two of the challenges. I think areas where we can work together are on fighting radical Islamist terrorists. That's something looking at keeping this country safe, looking at the impact of Iran, North Korea, and saying we're going to join together and fight those forces as a place we can work together.
You mentioned terrorism, of course. Terrorism is a major challenge for America and the world. What are some of the ways you think it's important to fight terrorism and protect America?
First of all, as some of our allies are beginning to do, halt the refugee resettlement programs and put the emphasis on working to have individuals stay in the region where their home is, but keep them in safe zones, and to be diligent in working to help protect those individuals in those safe zones. I think that is a better solution. We all know that ISIS and some of the terrorist groups have said they were going to infiltrate these refugee programs, so we need to be smart about that and put a halt to it until there are vetting processes that are put in place. That is one of the very first things. Secondly, is being smart as we look at getting past political correctness and allowing our intel community and our law enforcement communities to thoroughly ask questions. That is another area where we would have some synergy and be well served to work together.
You are the Vice Chairman of Energy and Commerce Committee. What are some of the ways that you think can ensure America's energy security, promote business growth, and also protect the environment at the same time?
I think that one of the things we've talked about regularly in our committee is having an all-of-the-above energy program. Unfortunately, we have a Department of Energy that has really not ever developed an energy plan for our country. They just never got around to it. So as legislators, we have kind of filled that void. Yes, it is important that we look at carbon fuels, the utilization of that. This administration has had a war on coal that is very unfortunate. We understand China burns a lot of coal. They're now buying U.S. coal. We also know that nuclear, hydroelectric, all of these components, solar, they're going to be part and parcel of having a wise energy program. To go about it in that manner, to look for clean coal technologies, to make certain that we are looking at efficiencies, our components, and their ways that are going to be important to us.
So last question is there anything you would like to say to our audience in China and worldwide?
I think that just knowing that we would like to work with them on addressing some of these currency manipulation and intellectual property issues, we think that it is important. It would be good for each of our economies if we were to be diligent in addressing some of those issues.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Congressman Blackburn. Thank you so much for speaking with us.